Hello everyone, I'm Aaron, a birding naturalist. Welcome back. I am in a very special place. I am visiting Channel Islands National Park, and I'd like to share it with you. The Channel Islands are a chain of islands, 5 in particular, that lie between 10 and 60 miles off the coast of Southern California. They formed millions of years ago through a combination of plate tectonics and volcanic activity, and have sat isolated out in the Pacific ever since. This means they've never been connected to the mainland, and that has yielded a bunch of really interesting evolutionary experiments. At least 13,000 years ago, the Chumash people made these islands their home, and they've lived here for millennia. Sadly, the Chumash people were displaced from these islands, and around 1850s or so, Europeans came and began using these lands largely for agriculture. They were privately owned for a very long time, and they were used as ranching lands for cattle and a lot of sheep. A bit later, pigs were released intentionally onto the islands as a sort of feral food source. They went wild, and feral pigs became an ecological nightmare. The Channel Islands were officially recognized as first a U.S. national monument, then as a biosphere reserve, and in 1980 was established as Channel Islands National Park. Some of the reasons that the Channel Islands were protected was in recognition of their cultural importance to the Chumash people, their ranching history, but also the incredible biodiversity that they contain. Over the millions of years that these islands have existed out here, many species have evolved. They've traveled from the mainland, dispersed out to these islands, and then changed, being on their own, into new species. To date, there are something like 150 recognized species of plants and animals that exist only on these islands and nowhere else on Earth. These include plants like Torrey pines and Green's Dudleya, animals like the island gray fox and the island scrub jay. To protect this delicate ecosystem and these unique creatures is one of the missions of the National Park Service and of Channel Islands National Park. And it's not just on the land. Channel Islands National Park includes extensive marine reserves around the island, protecting a wide diversity of kelp forests and all the incredible biodiversity that live within them. There are also many seabirds that kind of bridge the gap between land and sea. The Channel Islands are home to one of the world's largest brown pelican nesting colonies. Many other seabirds also nest on the islands, and they're safe here because there are relatively few predators, relatively little disturbance, and they can access this biodiverse and rich food source out at sea. Likewise, there are many marine mammals that basically do the same. There are seals, sea lions, fur seals, elephant seals that come to breed on these islands, again, because of relatively few predators and relatively little disturbance, and this wonderfully rich food source close by. They come here, they have their babies, they raise them, and then disperse off back into the seas. On the islands, to combat some invasive species and to help out all these incredible native species, the National Park Service has been engaged in extensive habitat restoration work. replanting native plants, removing non-native plants, removing non-native animals, helping to reestablish native animals. Extensive work has been done by the National Park Service to bring these islands back into an ecosystem balance more like they were before the 1850s, before ranching ever even got started on these islands. Unfortunately, the park is currently facing cuts. The Trump administration has identified and has already reduced the park staff by about 10% and is looking at even further cuts, reducing the workforce, reducing the staffing, reducing the resources that this park has to maintain this incredible place and the incredible animals and plants that live here. Personally, I think that the National Park Service is doing incredible work here. I think they should be supported like crazy. And I hope that since they are the National Park Service, the federal government continues to support the important work that they are doing. The Channel Islands are a beautiful area filled with rolling hills, deep canyons, rocky coasts, spectacular vistas. It's an amazing place. My thanks goes out to the National Park Service, in particular the rangers, the maintenance staff, the interpreters, all at Channel Islands National Park, for keeping this place going, for allowing us to visit. The people of the United States, and in fact, people of the world, have this treasure here that we can come and visit. We can experience these special animals, these special plants, these special landscapes. And it's because of the work of the National Park Service. I hope you've enjoyed this introduction to Channel Islands National Park, and I hope that you come down and visit this special, unique place. As always, thank you very much for the view. Subscribe to the channel and enjoy the natural world.